The Duke Blue Devils are about to win their 6th national championship, and I'm here today to tell you why. And no, I'm not some biased Duke fan. I'm actually an NC State fan, so on top of experiencing a great deal of hurt every single year, I've had to watch these guys run through my squad like they were playing a JV team. And honestly, State did better than most of the ACC against these dudes this year. Duke just set the record for the best point differential in the history of the ACC over the course of a conference season, and behind Cooper Flagg, who will be the #1 overall pick in the draft this year. This squad looks unstoppable. They've got so much length. They've got an NBA team size-wise, and then they can all shoot the three ball. They are, of course, led by Cooper Flagg, who on the year averages 19.4 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.5 blocks, 1.3 steals, a ridiculous stat line where he leads the Blue Devils in every single statistical category and shoots 49% from the field and 38% from three on almost 4 attempts per game. He's shooting almost 50% from beyond the arc since Christmas and, well, since he turned 18, because he was dominating dudes at the age of 17 to begin the season. He's a 6'9" wing with a 7'1" wingspan that has just as good of an impact on the defensive side of the ball as he does on offense. And I think he should be the National Player of the Year over Jani Broome. Broome has had a heck of a season at Auburn, but this Duke team is the best team in the country, and like I said, I think this is the national champions. They have also got Con Knippel, who on the year averages about 14 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 2.7 assists in 29 minutes per game, and he can fill it up from anywhere on the floor. He's actually one of their better defenders, believe it or not. 47% shooting from the field, 40% from three on the year for Con on about 6 attempts. He's a great corner pocket shooter, but his defensive IQ is so high, whereas he's not as athletic as everybody else on this Duke team. His defensive IQ is ridiculous, and it leads to him getting steals. He's also elite off of 2 feet around the rim. That's where he makes his money, is driving downhill and then using the ability to play off two versus, like Cooper Flagg going up and dunking on somebody. He's 6'7", 215, so he'd rather go through you than jump over you and dunk it. And, well, he can't really jump that high. You've got Tyrese Proctor as well, who started the year kind of in the point guard role, transitioned into more of a scoring guard. He's 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan. He can really defend as well, but I think this is their closer. Cooper Flagg has proven he's not the clutchest guy in the world a couple of times this year. Tyrese on the year is averaging about 12 points, 3.2 boards, and 2.2 assists. He had a really scary injury against, I believe it was Miami, and then he was able to come back, so that's great. It didn't look good, but he shoots 44% from the field and 40% from three. He is a complete three-level scorer. He can get to the rim, he can stop and pop from the mid-range, and he can knock down the three ball with the best of them. I think he's played his way into being a first-round pick over the course of this season, but he might want to come back for year 4. You never know. But as you can see in these highlights, he is just a complete scorer. One of the better scorers in the college game. I thought he could have been first team All-ACC. Didn't quite make it. Chase Hunter deserves it probably, but Tyrese is still a huge piece of what they do. And then you've got Sion James, who, the new starting point guard ever since they took Caleb Foster out of the lineup. I believe they've lost 1 game since then, and he really reminds me of Drew Holiday, and not just because he looks like him. They play a lot of the same roles as what Holiday does for the Celtics, Sion does for the Blue Devils. 8.5 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and a steal. He plays that point guard role. He just does a little bit of everything. He's kind of the glue guy in there, but he's an elite defender, and he can also really shoot it. He's 6'6" and weighs about 220, and he's got a 6'11" wingspan. That is a ridiculous frame for a college point guard. He looks like a man among boys. Last year, Tulane averaged like 17 a game, comes into Duke, plays his role to perfection as the point guard. They can also lock it down. 54% shooting from the field, 43% from three on about 2 attempts per game, so not the highest volume in the world, but still. Really like what Sion James does. I think he's one of their X factors going forward. Love what he brings to the table with his defense, his playmaking, and like I said, he can also score when he needs to. I believe he had 16 against Carolina the other day. And then you got Kaman Malawach, the 7'2" giant that completes this Duke roster. He's got a 7'5" wingspan and a 9'8" standing reach. He completes this lineup that has NBA size. I mean, you're talking about 6'6", 6'6", 6'7", 6'9", and 7'2". That's bigger than some NBA teams. It's ridiculous. Kaman Malawach averages about 8 points and 6.6 rebounds, as well as a block per per game in 20 minutes a night on 68% shooting from beyond the arc. Does a lot of the little things down low. Now, he can't stretch the floor. That's his one weakness. He's only made 1 3-pointer on the year. I believe he's only taken like 4, though. And he did hit one against Cal, and his jumper didn't look terrible, so there is some stuff to work with. But speaking of a jumper, this man right here, Slim himself, Isaiah Evans, 7.7 points a game, 1.2 rebounds in 15 minutes. Heck, he didn't even play in 3 games early on in the year, and now he's their microwave scorer off the bench. He shoots 45% from the field and 44% from 3, and has never met a shot that he did not like. But he can absolutely change a game like he did against number 2 Auburn early in the game. Came in and hit 6 threes and didn't even play in the second half, really. He's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan, and honestly, he's got, other than Cooper Flagg, the most intrigue to NBA scouts on this Duke roster because of his ability to come in and fill it up. Think Devin Booker at Kentucky on that 2015 team that was absolutely stacked. But in my opinion, the X factor for this Duke Blue Devils team is Malik Brown. He is so much better than Patrick Ngongba, and that's no disrespect to Big Pat. Malik Brown is just a freak on the defensive side of the ball. You saw what he did to RJ Davis the other night, an all-ACC guard and the preseason ACC Player of the Year. He's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan and impacts the game like no other. He can also play a little bit of offense. Finds Concanipple right here on the backdoor cut. Now, he only averages a little under 3 points a game this year, but 1.6 steals in 17 minutes per game should show you how valuable he is. And he also showed the ability to knock down the 3 ball against Carolina in the second game. And that is going to be huge for Duke going forward, because now you have to at least respect his ability to shoot from beyond the arc. So you put him out there with Coop, with Con, with Tyrese. Now he's another guy that can knock down the 3 ball. This entire team can shoot it. They can all defend. I'm all in on the Blue Devils. We haven't even talked about Mason Gillis, who shoots 37% from 3 at about 6'8", and then Caleb Foster, who was the best 3-point shooter on the team last year, on a team that included Jared McCain. Now, let's talk about some offense here from their first game against Carolina. This is a nice little set where they get Coop popping, and then you're going to have a nice little backdoor set for a little flare option for Con, but instead Carolina switches this, so a brilliant flash right to the rim by Zion James for the dunk. And then the next play, they're going to double Coop in the short corner. This is a great pass. This is a next level pass. This is a pass you see Nikola Jokic or LeBron James making on the daily, and then they just find Coop in the corner. He skips it immediately to Tyrese, and there's a reason you can't double this Duke team. Everybody on the team shoots 40% from 3. It is ridiculous. Right here, they hit a little ball screen. They find Malik Brown in the middle. RJ Davis has to come over to tag the roll guy, and you find Concanipple wide open in the corner. Actually, Trimble came over more so on that play, and then there's a good closeout by RJ Davis. It just doesn't matter because Con can shoot the crap out of the ball. Now, defensively, this is where they thrive. They watch how long it takes Carolina to penetrate the 3-point line. They don't get inside the 3-point line until like 12 seconds left on the shot clock, which is ridiculous. And by the time they do, you get Cadeau going downhill, but he's going right at a 7'2" come on Malawach, who's got a 9'8" standing reach. Like, there's not much you can do right there because Zion rotates well. You know, you got Cooper Flagg, who's 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan. Zion James, 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. This team is so long, it's ridiculous. We talked about Proctor earlier, 6'6" with that 6'10" wingspan. And then you got Khan, 6'7" with about a 6'9" wingspan. It wasn't reported. That's just kind of a guess there. Malawach, he's a freak. He's absolutely ridiculous. He is so long, it's stupid. 6'7" Isaiah Evans with a 6'10" wingspan. Gillis, who we talked about, the transfer from Purdue, of course, played the national championship last year. And then Malik Brown, who absolutely shut down RJ Davis. Caleb Foster has a reported 7-foot wingspan, which is ridiculous. And then Big Pat down low, just a third big they can bring off the bench if they really need to. They played him a lot when Malik Brown was in foul trouble. Now, once again, watch Carolina. They cannot penetrate the 3-point line right here. They finally get the switch they want, but come on, Malawach is good enough to be able to guard. Watch the rotations here. You got Zion coming from behind, Con steps up, forces the floater, and now Duke's running the other way. Same thing right here. Carolina's going to run a whole bunch of nothing at the top of the key, and then they're finally going to get into their offensive set and get below the 3-point line with about 12 seconds left on the shot clock. By that time, it doesn't matter. Duke's running in transition. Nice cut by Zion. Great feed from Cooper Flagg for the easy layup. Now, once again, watch it. Carolina, they're just going to they start their offense so late into the shot clock, and that's a testament to what Duke does defensively. They're so long, you can't drive on any of them because they're all outstanding perimeter defenders in their own right. They finally get it to Seth Trimble. Great rotation. Now there's 5 seconds on the shot clock, and he hits a bailout shot over Zion James. It's a great shot. But great defense right there. And then you got the pick and roll throw behind. Cadeau thinks he's got a wide open Seth Trimble in the corner. Instead, Cooper Flagg picks it off, finds Tyrese for the dunk. And this was a beatdown early on in Cameron. We saw Carolina show a little bit more fight in the Dean Dome, but still, it doesn't matter. Duke's forcing tough step back threes that lead to fast break opportunities right here, which is Cooper Flagg knocking down the 3-ball. That gives them a 15-6 lead early, just 5 minutes into the game, and then you insert Malik Brown, who changes things up top because Carolina tries to run their entire offense through the post at the top of the key, right? Well, Malik Brown is going to put the absolute clamps down on him, lead to a transition run out, another and one for Cooper Flagg. Watch this. You can just switch 1 through 5, and they can absolutely take you out of anything you're trying to do. The mismatch that they're trying to find is really a mismatch for Duke because Malik Brown can just absolutely shut down RJ Davis, and we saw it this weekend. They have 4 posts on this team that can all legitimately guard on the perimeter, except for maybe Big Pat. That's the only one that I would say can't really guard out on the perimeter. But watch Cooper Flagg. Watch his triangles here, right? Ball, man, self. Cadeau's going to try, or Seth Trimble's going to try to drive in. He does a great job of digging in and then being able to recover to RJ Davis to force a tough fall away 3 right into the Duke bench. And then once again, just watch Malik Brown. Watch the ball denial. Can't even let him reverse the ball. And then you finally get into a ball screen. There's 9 seconds left on the clock, and you still haven't gotten the ball below the 3-point line. And then it's a deflection for Malik Brown. Once again, they try to get you with a little Spain action. It actually works, which is a pick and roll, and then you're going to set a screen on the roll guys, man, and then pop high for the 3. So Van Lubin actually gets down. That's kind of there, right? Flagg's kind of there, but they cover this up so well at the top that it just doesn't even matter. They put so much pressure on the ball, and then now there's 14 seconds left on the shot clock when you finally try to get back into your action, and you've got Mason Gillis on the ball. Cadeau tries to drive in, tries to go behind the back. Even Malawach is in here digging down a little bit, and this is just fantastic defense. Great closeout, and then Gillis steps in and gets the steal, which leads to more fast break opportunities and a Kaman Malawach floater. Now, another example that I wanted to look at of complete domination was this Illinois game that Duke played in Madison Square Garden, where they were just absolutely clamping up. Now they're running in transition, and you've got Malawach on a rim run. You find Khan early and often. He gets downhill. We talked about him playing off too. He does it so well. Easy bucket. Now you got a pick and roll to the weak side. Cooper gets there, and by the time the defense comes over, Zion is wide open. Nice little flare screen by Malawach here on the backside, but that is beautiful action for Duke. And just like that, it's 8-2. Now it's 4-10. They're running in transition, and then Cooper Flagg just makes a play. He almost turns it over, but makes a play to get right to the rim. Keep in mind, this Illinois team, here's the bread and butter with Isaiah Evans, just a nice little flare screen. He comes in, and unofficially, he is 72 for 72 on that little set right there. And then you get Isaiah Evans once again knocking down the 3-ball. He is just the biggest microwave scorer in the tournament this year, I feel like. This is a nice action as well. You get Khan isolated on the block. He is really good in the short corner, the mid-range. When he gets isolated, it's tough to stop him. And then you got Tyrese Proctor as well. This team just has too many weapons. They completely obliterated Illinois, who then goes in and beats Michigan, the second best team in the Big Ten, by 20 on Michigan's home court. This is fantastic individual defense by Tyrese Proctor, leads to a run out and a foul for Conklin. Or actually, it wasn't a foul, but Proctor gets the rebound because he ran the court, finds Zion James, who goes in and gets the lefty lay. Like I said, I've said it so many times, but that's why I'm so high on this Duke team. They have so many guys that can hurt you. They get Khan into a little curl action here, going downhill, and you hit the lob in Malawach. That's going to be there nearly every single time. There's no Zach Edey. Malawach is a giant. That lob is going to be there all the time. This is fantastic defense. Once again, Yakachonis is a projected lottery pick. Zion clamps him up. And then you get the rim run here by Malawach early. And at this point, it's a 23-point game late in the first half. Ridiculous. And then you find Tyrese Proctor, once again, who can get his own shot. You're on a little pick and roll here with Zion, and a pin screen on the backside for Tyrese Proctor. Really nice action, and then Proctor just makes a play because, Illinois didn't have to guard Malawach that time. Now you got a pick and roll, and Malawach gets strung out. Cooper Flagg tags the roll guy, and then he reads Yekachonis' eyes, and he gets the steal here. Nice deflection by Sion, leads to a run out and a dunk for Cooper Flagg. Now, this is what I call the key three. The three trends over the last little bit that we have seen that lead to national champions. 25 of the last 26 national champions have been top 26 in offense and defense on KenPom. Duke is number 2 in the offensive rating per KenPom, and then defensively, they are number 4. This is one of the better defensive teams I've ever seen. I think this might be the best college basketball team I have seen. And if this team doesn't win the Natty, I will be very, very shocked. Now, I can see maybe like an Alabama beating them, maybe an Auburn, but I think they're just too good on both sides of the ball. Another trend here, over the last 25 years, every single team that has won the national championship has been ranked in the Week 6 AP poll in the top 12. Duke, number 4. So you can check that box as well for this Duke squad. They've been towards the top all year. They're going to end up being the number 2 overall seed. And then the final box you need to check, you need to have 6 guys that score 8 or more points per game. That's 6 guys that at some point can take over the game. And they have that with James, Evans, Proctor, Malawach, Knipple, and Flagg. All of those guys can go for 20 on any given night, except maybe Malawach. He kind of depends on everybody else, but he impacts the game in his own right because of his 7'5" wingspan around the rim and playing the 5. Flagg playing the floor. He can kind of roam around. It's a free safety on defense. Posterize anybody he wants on offense. He's the national player of the year. He's the number 1 overall pick. Duke will be the national champions. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're looking for about 300 likes on today's video. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching.